Hey everybody, it's the coach. Welcome to the special Saturday edition of the NFL on EA Sports. We are moments away from what should be an excellent matchup between the Minnesota Vikings and the Cincinnati Bengals. With that, let's get up to Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati. For the call, we bring in our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, thank you. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League takes us to the Queen City of Cincinnati and Paul Brown Stadium right on the banks of the Ohio River. This crowd loves their orange and black. The scene just a short time ago, they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. We're ready for football as the Bengals get set to do battle with the Minnesota Vikings. From up top next to Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And, folks, we were already excited for this game. And then before the contest, you and I are down on the field outside the white lines.
Yes, we were following the rules.
We were following the rules, and a ball comes over our direction, but we can't see it. Somebody yells heads up, and instinctively you turn around and you snare it one-handed with your off left hand. So now we're really ready for football.
No gloves either.
No gloves.
No gloves. Not like what the guys are wearing playing the game now. But wasn't that a whole lot better than that time we were down there? And I got the coffee spilled on me when I got nailed by the punt returner.
That happened to the Vikings, right?
Yes, a much better job of being heads up this time. Thank you for the notice.
This is fielded at the goal line. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. They'll be led out by the veteran quarterback out of Michigan State. The former Spartan, it's Kirk Cousins.
Forget the measurables. His temperament, which is so even-keeled, often masks a burning desire to win and perform. This guy takes it seriously when he lines up to play, and usually he puts on a nice performance.
On play action, Cousins. And Diggs has it. And he takes it all the way down to the 28-yard line. A huge play there right off the bat. 46 yards. Well, there's a pretty big start right there. They go bombs away on the first play from scrimmage.
Put a smile on your face, didn't it? Not because you're rooting for anyone, but that's the way to begin a game, to put someone back on their heels and announce that they plan to be aggressive.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. Heck of a move and then brought down near the 23. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Six yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Cousins to throw it. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
And Thielen's got it. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen there to make the grab. And the Vikings take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. And it was a tight window. He knew he had to rocket that thing in there. He got it done.
And when you're able to complete one like that, your confidence has to just go sky high. You just mentioned it. Tight window, zings it in there despite excellent coverage. Result, touchdown.
Dan Bailey now for the extra point. He's got it, and the Vikings take a 7-0 lead. The drive summary, 4 plays, 75 yards. And it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This one fielded at the 5. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here come the Bengals now to take over. They'll be led out by the former Texas Christian University Horned Frog, Andy Dalton.
And there's no substitute for experience in this league, and what it usually leads to, a whole lot of confidence. Andy Dalton is sharp with where to go with the football now. I think he sees reads before they actually even happen. He can sense them now, and he is one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL.
1st and 10 for Dalton. And the catch made. It's Tyler Boyd. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. From the gun, Dalton looks to throw. Under heavy pressure, and down goes Dalton on the sack. Shamar Stephen coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th. The start of this game shaping up nicely on that visiting sideline.
Yeah, how about that? You get your points on the opening drive. Then you get a big sack there on 3rd down, and you make the home crowd go, shh.
There is a hush indeed. So now the Cincinnati native, also former Bearcat, and now a Bengal, Kevin Huber, to punt it away. Fielded at the 20. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
A pretty big opening there on 1st down. 8 yards up to the 33. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Cousins gives way to Cook. Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35. And the offensive starters for the Vikings.
Yeah, I feel a little bad here because we missed out talking about these guys on the opening drive because they were in the end zone before we had a chance to even say anything. But let's keep an eye on these wideouts. QB already has 1 touchdown pass. You know he's looking for a few more before this one's over. Those wideouts will get plenty of opportunities to try and score again.
Watch the screen, watch the screen.
Oh, and they had him stopped short of the first, but a penalty marker down. And that looked like a clear face mask to me. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. From the gun, here's Cousins. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
How about this offense already feeling good about themselves with a touchdown already in their first drive? They've certainly come out firing, even though that one was incomplete.
With the 7-0 lead, more apt to take a shot like that downfield?
Hey, you're one to the good. Go ahead and try and press your advantage.
A second down throw for Cousins. It's complete to Diggs. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 40.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter. First down, here's the run with Cook. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now Cook. They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is 3rd down. Working out of the gun, Cousins. He gets this one into the hands of Dalvin Cook. And he'll be taken down well before the first at about the 36-yard line.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. So Cousins heads to the Vikings sideline, and on is Dan Bailey to try the field goal. From the right hash, this from 53. And this won't get there, won't be on line either. It's no good, off to the right, and this score will stay right where it is.
NFL kickers nowadays, they make things look so easy because normally from this range, about 2 out of 3. And this is not an easy kick.
Yeah, 20 years ago, you get where he was in that 50 range, maybe a little over, and it's a big kick, but now we just, if they leave it short, you're like, whoa, what happened? And that's what we have here.
Yeah, you're right. 20 years ago, we were saying run some more plays and get closer. Now we think they're definitely within range, and you're exactly right. When it comes up short, there has to be something that went wrong because they have plenty of leg.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys a little bit jumpy.
But you do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3 and out.
And now they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. On 2nd down now, Bernard. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Mike, watch the pass. Watch the pass. Here we go.
Despite only needing one, Dalton to throw. And able to find Green. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. It's a Bengal first down, a pickup of 11.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Coming to you.
2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. Fans, a reminder, I have a note card here that says ad-lib halftime preview. So I guess let's do just that as we'll hand things over to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando when this one reaches halftime. Did I do okay?
You did great. Not a bad job.
Hey.
But, writing down your ad-libs.
If you print it, I'm going to read it. I'm Brandon Gaudin.
Well, they obviously red man covers their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him
What do you
think.
mean by that?
He made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield. Then he curls back inside for the completion.
Check. Watch 54. Let's get it together.
On 1st and 10, here's Andy Dalton. He completes it to Boyd. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 12 more yards there and another first down. A chance now to get even before the break as they come up 1st and goal. This will be Dalton again. He gets this one to Boyd. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line, 2nd and goal.
All day, defense, all day.
Another chance for Dalton. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
Pretty nice coverage there, but a missed opportunity for an interception. Let's face it, a lot of these defenders, they've got it all. Speed, athleticism, hands, a little bit questionable.
Let's go, let's bring it.
Dalton on 3rd and goal. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Here's Randy Bullock now as he'll go for the field goal. And Bullock will put this one through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. Now, maybe a moral victory of sorts. They're on the board here late in the first half, but this offense just hasn't looked that sharp.
Yeah, but at least they got the 3 points, right? At least have something to, quote-unquote, hang their hats on and maybe feel a little bit better about themselves as they head to the half.
After the field goal now, it's Bullock to kick it away. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take this across the 25, couple of extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you've got the lead. It's definitely a thought. Let's go ahead and try and increase it. But at the same time, I don't like the odds. I don't like where they are on the field. Got the lead. They've done well in the first half. Don't mess it up and go into halftime looking at each other wondering what if.
And this is Cook with a grab. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Not today, you are. Not today.
Play action now. Cousins. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Throwing is Cousins. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
Second down pass play got him 8 yards. Now they've got a 3rd and a couple remaining. They'll throw again. Cousins. And that is incomplete. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
On now to kick it away is the punter, Matt Weil. Alex Erickson deep for Cincinnati. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what?
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Everson Griffin on the sack, taken to the 4th round back in 2010. What a steal. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome everyone to this abridged version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This game's had a little bit of everything thus far, and certainly plenty to look forward to, as the teams are right back out there for the second half. So we'll get right back out there as well, as we'll turn it back over to Brandon Godden.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go.
The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
Yeah, they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the third quarter. All they have so far, the field goal.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, You're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. 7 yards there and a first down.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Hey, let's get that ball, man. Let's get that ball right here.
Now a carry for Bernard. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. They'll get 14 on that one. Good for a Bengal first down. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
Wait. 54 Mike. Check pass.
From midfield here, Dalton. Brought in here by Tyler Eifert. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
It is hard in zone coverage to stop a curl route because when they see it, they just try and find the open spot and sit down.
Yeah, we always talk about finding the soft spot in the zone. What's the key to doing that? How do you do it?
You have to read what the coverage is. Is it 2 deep? Is it 3 deep? Because then you know where the linebackers are going to drop, what spots on the field they naturally get to, and you find that open space, and then you're in sync with your quarterback. He should be reading the exact same thing, and they put the ball right on you.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw, unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get him the football.
A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. He's got his man, Boyd. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. And they just keep marching right along. 1st down on a pickup of 8 there.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the 1st down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they were right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up.
Watch 54. Watch a slant.
Mixon with a 1st down carry. And he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Hands up. Larry. Mike 5-4. Come off the ball.
A draw play. Bernard. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. After seeing that, maybe time to go back to some downfield throws here.
Yeah, anything. Change it up because the teams that win, the best teams, they're the ones that make adjustments. Doesn't mean you can't come back to what you thought you could get done. Sometimes when you open things up a little bit, you can get back to what you wanted to do before.
Now play number 8 on this drive, and they need 9 yards to pick up the first on 3rd. Out of the gun, it's Dalton. Green brings it in. And oh, he coughed it up, and the Vikings pick up the football. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up, because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. From the gun, it's a give to Cook. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. And trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Vikings on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. And the blitz does come. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. And the Bengals grab it. And this is taken into the end zone. A fumble recovery and a Cincinnati touchdown. So a big turn of events there. This defense makes the play. They return it for the score, and now they have the lead.
So much for ball security for the offense. Playing with a lead in the second half, they give the ball up, and all of a sudden they're behind.
Big-time fumble. Now an important extra point here to stretch this lead to a field goal. He's got it, and this is indeed up to a 3-point lead. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And that last possession, really a gut punch. You seemingly had it working. You were in the midst of a very strong drive. Then suddenly the fumble, and you're watching the back of a defender's jersey as he brings it all the way in the other direction.
There's not much more I can add to that. I thought you summarized it perfectly, partner. You just got to regroup and start putting another drive together. That's all you can do.
The throw right side is complete here on the first play of the drive. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. The catch and run, good for 24 yards. Okay, so now the question, how did he get that wide open?
Well, we both know that he shouldn't, because from the time they handed out scouting reports before this game, he was circled, starred, everything. Find him, cover him. But sometimes you can scheme a guy open. You put the receivers in a bunch. Maybe you move some motion. Maybe you put him on the backside of a formation, and all of a sudden you've got a better matchup. Every now and then, the offensive guys, they figure a way to get him open, even with everyone keeping eyes on him.
And that's certainly a guy they want to keep trying to scheme open. Cousins' throw complete to Thielen. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And Diggs has it. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
From the red zone now, Cousins. He's got Smith here. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
On second down, Cook. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
The last two plays each lose a yard. They'll try to move forward here on 3rd and 12. Less than 2 to play with just a field goal separating these two sides. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They run it again with Cook. And they're going to drop him well shy of the first as he can only make it to the 11th. It's a 7-yard run, but it does bring up 4th down.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. And Bailey able to knock it through. And with a little more than a minute to go, we are all tied. So a big kick to get this back to even. Yet now the worry is, did you leave too much time on the clock? Because another field goal the other way, that does you in.
You're exactly right. You didn't get it to overtime yet. So now as a defense, you've got to think to yourself, you can't play prevent defense and just give up big chunks of yardage in front of you, but you also can't let anyone behind you. So you sit right on the line between the two, play the best defense you can, and not make it easy for them to move the ball downfield.
All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play. But if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 25 yards that time. First down now, but that clock rolling. All right, here's Dalton. Forced out, and he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Danielle Hunter picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. Now following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12. So now Dalton. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as he'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock. So the sack, and now it's 3rd and long for Dalton and the Bengals. Dalton with a give here to Mixon. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as the clock stops with 23 seconds to go in the game. Here's Kevin Huber now as he's on to punt for Cincinnati. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like. And now out comes Minnesota. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range. Not much. A tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk-reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
All right, we'll see if they do just that. A nice burst there as they'll get about 7 that time on the first down run. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3. And we have free football overtime. Here we go, my friend.
And the way this game played out, this is exactly how it should end, going to overtime, because neither one got an advantage today.
It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
All day, baby, all day.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. Set for their first drive here in overtime. And this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing, because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud in here so far. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Stop here, D.
Here's a quick throw to Thielen. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down.
Pass complete, but no gain.
No yards.
Yeah.
So you file that as unsuccessful.
Yeah, you do, don't you? Except on the stats, throwing the ball,
Get a completion.
you get a catch,
Yeah.
but still,
No
no
yards.
yardage. Okay.
Here comes a big one now in overtime. This is 3rd and inches. And that'll set them back 5. And they need 5 yards on 3rd down here to keep this opening drive of OT alive. And he's got Kyle Rudolph. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down. Charles, you get into these overtime situations, that's not a bad guy to dial into.
Well, when you have to have plays, especially in a spot as you just described, we're in OT, you've got to go to the guys you can trust and you know are going to make the plays. Well, they say, it's not the X's and the O's, it's the Jimmies and the Joes.
Cousins now 13 out of 17 throwing the ball. He's got a first down. Now a run with Cook. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
All day, every day, any day. 52 is the mic right here, over there, right?
On 2nd and 7, Cousins. He gets this one into the hands of Dalvin Cook. They'll get nothing out of that one, and it's going to lead to a 3rd down. Now, the old pass completion for no gain, not something you want to call up out of the playbook too often.
Yeah, most offensive coordinators don't have that on their play sheet, so they've got to go back and scramble after this one. But right now, with what they're telling receivers about making sure you take care of the ball in open field, sometimes the fighting for extra yardage doesn't come as a result. That and good tackling can lead to no yards gained.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Well, I know you're toward the middle of the field here, but still, 4th down this distance, you got to punt it right.
That's definitely the first instinct, because you say, okay, let's just play some field position, make sure we don't lose the game here, turn it over in a key spot. But if you feel really good about your trigger guy, if you feel great about him, you might want to leave the ball in his hands and let him work his magic.
And now it's the punter Weil on as he sends this one away. Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it. But they turned it back over to them, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. An excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
Now part 1 is done, now part 2. To throw here, Dalton. Throw left side complete. That's Boyd. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3. Off the play fake to Mixon. This is Dalton. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Anthony Barr comes rumbling in for the sack.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. On the draw, here's Bernard. Bernard churning, and he lost the football. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. And a costly, costly mistake. Coaches talk so much about ball security, and in overtime, so paramount.
Partner, do you ever wonder if maybe they talk about it too much?
Too much, yeah.
Doesn't seem like you can, but maybe by discussing it time and time again, and you know they overemphasized it here, it almost became self-fulfilling.
And any points beat them here. Field goal or a touchdown now. And now out comes Minnesota. They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. If they want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
We want it. Come to my work.
Again, it's Cook. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Cook. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down. So it all comes down to the foot of Dan Bailey. This to win it in overtime. And now the Bengals are going to call another timeout. They'll be left with just one remaining here at OT. So it all comes down to the foot of Dan Bailey. This to win it in overtime. And he got it. The kick is good in overtime. He's able to split the uprights. And they will take the lead at 13-10. Now remember, this one is not over, but with the time running short here in this overtime, that could very well be the game winner.
Yeah, remember now, the other team does get a possession, but when the clock runs out, that's it. So that was a well-calculated drive to use up the majority of the clock and leave your opponent with little to no time left.
We were just treated to an absolute dandy in this one. A great finish in overtime with a long field goal. Everybody, including us, on the edge of their seats. Quite a game.
And it's rare that you get a game into overtime that it doesn't turn out to be a dandy, right? That's what we saw here. And just what you were talking about, a long field goal to win it. So definitely not a gimme. So there was tension all the way through until the ball went through the post.
But it did go through the post. Ice water was in his veins. That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.